Yep, we're live. Whew! Thank fuck for that. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic because you've got plenty.
What is up, Dash League?
Dash League.
Dash League!
Second, I believe this is second match of the season so far. We've got Iron versus Org, which I think is going to be one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting match in all of Walker Tier for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
both of these teams, both of these relatively new teams are expected to be rising up in the ranks throughout this season very quickly. A lot of them have been putting in time, effort. A lot of them have previous experience with other teams and in other matches. It'll be very interesting to see how these Walker Tier teams play against each other and move their way throughout the tournament.
Absolutely.
Both of these teams are completely new to the league, so while the players aren't all entirely new to competitive play, and some may even come from some other competitive games, both teams have a lot to prove here, and it's cool to see two brand new teams battling it out at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. And I know they've both been putting in an insane amount of work. And I know Iron, they were competitive Iron Light players together. They kind of made a team over there. So they're kind of coming with some competitive experience together. And so I hope that we see that kind of comes to fruition and we see some good strategies and gameplay coming together. Even though they're new to Hyperdash, they're not new to playing together. And that's usually the biggest part of being a team is learning how to coordinate and understanding your players and what they do best and who fills what roles.
So that said, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Oh.
I'm not Gollum.
I'm Willow.
And I'm QuestX. And of course, casual shout out to Fire Ors here, who's behind the scenes running this cast today.
Yes,
absolutely.
big shout out. We've got a lot of fun stuff in store. Look at that awesome graphics.
Sheesh. Iron versus Org Season 4. Yeah, so we're in Cycle 1. And so the matchups are going to be generally interesting. Cycle 1 really means that anyone could just about play with anyone, so it's really cool to see some nice games like these lining up.
Totally. Yeah, today's maps, we're going to have Launchpad, Waterway, and then Stadium if we make it there. So I think that Iron and Org have both been putting in the time for Launchpad, so I think that's going to be a really interesting one. I think it'd be very fun to see a control point on Stadium, but, who knows?
Absolutely. For anyone who's new to the competition, just so you know, so we'll play the two maps. The first team, they'll play the launch pad. There'll be an outcome to that. We're using the league mutator now, so that means that where one team ends, the other team is able to push past that points. It's to see who pushes harder. If one team takes both maps, we wrap it up there. But if it's one team takes one map and one team takes the other, then we'll move to Stadium for the tiebreaker.
Totally. And Stadium is more of a king of the hill situation with one button, while Waterway has three. You got to hold all three down at the same time for 3 seconds, and then you score a point. First to 3 wins. But
yeah, on this payload map, it looks like Iron's going to be starting out as red, Org on blue. So that'll mean Org is going to be having to push the cart first.
Yep.
Iron's goal to win outright is going to have to be to push the cart further than Org does in less time. But they will have a greater increase in MMR if they manage to push the cart much further than Org manages to do throughout this match.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Looks like the match is...
Oh.
Or not.
Looks like we're getting kicked out. Oh, well.
Pro strategy, get kicked out of the game right before it starts?
I don't think so. If we still have the cam in the top right, so I don't think the match has started yet, which is good.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
No, that's all right.
Things go how they go. You know what? We are reading the chat though. I've got it open. I don't know about Cosex. Let's see some predictions out in the chat. And there's a lot of people here already, and a lot of likes. Thank you for everyone. Every like just helps the video get recommended to new people that haven't seen Dash League before. So please drop it if you haven't already. But yeah, drop some predictions and everything in chat. We're gonna be reading it. We're gonna be loving all of you for being here.
Absolutely, that's right. Yeah, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that while we get ready for this match to begin.
Willow and QuestX, I have a question for you since I don't know the answer. Do either of you know how long Org has been in the league? How long they've been around in the off season, say?
They're the
Yeah.
second newest team to clan name, right? Right after
Yes, I
Black.
believe so. Right after Black, because Black had just recently joined. And so Org is, if anyone recalls, Fies. The old Fies. There's a tradition in clan name that
Right.
once roster lock starts up, we spin up a new Fies. Oh, here we going. I'll tell that story in a little bit.
Well, there you go.
But save it in the pocket.
Yep.
Absolutely,
Now we're
yeah.
entering payload, where the teams have got to stand on the payload. Only moves while blue team is on it. We got B going all the way back behind checkpoint to grab some explosives. I bet we're going to see some explosive heavy strategy here from Iron.
But just to quickly answer your question there, Memetic, there are some players that have played before, but neither of these teams have played competitively yet. This is their debut for both teams. We have Arctic here running double shocks in the opener.
Yep. Arctic is a pretty seasoned player. Very good one, too. I think Iron's newest pickup, that is. They just picked him up just a few days ago, I believe, and he's seeing his first game here today. Experiment 66, a really good player that has been here for a while.
Dunn also very solid.
Yes.
You can see they're taking a lot of good defensive positions behind corners that Iron's going to have to pass through if they want to get a peek on the cart. And
So
now
we can see
Org is
that
moving
the
up.
initial clear seems to have been done here, so Org was able to clear the majority of red players in their area, and they like to try probably pushing up after that.
Yeah,
We see
that
two
was
on
a
cart
really
here.
good clear by Org here. We see Iron is kind of desperately trying to run in and stop the cart when they can, but they're just getting taken out. Oh, Dr. Guy does get a good rocket kill, though. But
Dr.
we're
Guy
seeing
here, so-
a lot of blue.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Just we're seeing a lot of blue everywhere. They're taking
Absolutely,
a lot
yeah.
of space, being very aggressive. They're not holding back. Oh man, another nasty kill by Dr. Guy though.
Awesome. What we're watching here is Iron's primary Rocketeer. So Dr. Guy has really been focusing on rockets, and I believe we'll get to see what that means throughout the course of this game. Guy's been able to pull off some pretty impressive kills and scrims and practices. I know he's put in a lot of time developing his skills, so let's see how they're able to put that to use today.
I mean, so far it's been going pretty good. They've been able to hit stuff that I definitely can't. But you know, I'm no Rocketeer. Rocketeer is a fine surgical skill that you have to develop, and I don't know how people do it.
All right, so we're 422, bottom of the ramp. So Org is slightly above pace from last season.
Yep, above average, what you would say.
Absolutely. But what we're going to observe here is now that the spawn advantages are going to start to switch. So it's going to become easier for Iron to get back to the cart. And that's going to make it tougher and tougher for Org to push. You can see Dr. Guy hasn't been taken out in quite a bit, so his rockets still have the ability to be effective. And that will make it difficult for Org to move the cart until they're able to address that. B here on the ground strafing. Gets the pick off.
Yeah, B is doing a good job. You can see some good coordination here with B taking all the attention away while the Dr. Guy just keeps the rockets raining down, protecting him. B says, hey, everyone look at me and don't look at those rockets that are going to come down in your head here in about 2 seconds. It seems to be working quite well. They have a very strong hold here. I think this is the first actual hold that we've seen from Iron all game yet, and it seems to be very solid.
Iron did a really good job there. We saw when they noticed they weren't getting a setup on blue anymore, they weren't getting that ramp, they pulled back, set up a checkpoint defense and said, okay, we might have lost that area, but we can still burn the time here, and it's completely accurate. You can get down to the bottom of that ramp as fast as max time and then get held before checkpoint if you can't break that next hold. So definitely a good call from Iron there.
It's a very strong hold. It's a very common one too. But we see that Org finally broke through, and now we're seeing that Iron is having some difficulty getting anything back up.
So Org's has managed to tear Iron's defense, and now it's the game to stop that cart and get it back up before Org can manage to make any more movement.
Ooh, Captain
Toaster trying to make some space, Nugget pulling in. Interesting geography about Nugget. So Nugget is a higher ping player, and he's been able to do a lot of things that many people didn't think were possible for higher tier players, higher ping players. He's able to hold his weight in New York lobbies at pings as high as 300 and still be an absolute menace. Has a great reaction time, actually probably one of the more insane reaction times considering just how little time he has to react to things. And it's always really impressive watching Nugget play. That's correct, yeah.
That's crazy.
So
it
good on
like
him, good
Iron's
on Nugget.
Able to set up a pretty good defense here. One of the big things that Org's going to have to try and do is find a way to push past the cart and take out the
We had X there on the car with the shield crouch, just casually making some movement. It looks like it wasn't either he wasn't immediately noticed or they decided he wasn't a threat at first.
Oh,
Nugget pulling
sneaks
cart here,
behind their
making some
defenses,
room.
though.
How did he get back there?
Oh,
That's
man.
huge.
Oh,
That was some
Look at
incredible
this
discipline. So we
movement.
saw Nugget slip by earlier, and he was just kind of hiding, I guess. I was wondering where he went for a solid 45 seconds, found the right time, and emerged, made some movement there. Dr. Guy here's got his rocket back up.
Almost made checkpoint, in which they get 6 additional minutes to keep pushing this thing, and they are super close. You know, if I was
Absolutely.
Iron, I'd definitely be stressing.
Yep, a minute 30 seconds though, and it's still anybody's game. We're going to have to put one more strong tear down here. Iron seems to be having no trouble pulling their defenses up when they get destroyed, so we're just going to have to keep tearing them down if they want to get that last bit of percentage here. Rockets come down there. No
It was
movement
also
from
good
there.
to see Dr. Guy was very conservative with the rockets. He kept using the right one, leaving the left one available for if someone hopped on cart faster than he expected. He didn't use both
Absolutely.
at once until he
Or
absolutely
pulling in there,
knew
trying to
where
make
the
some
end
room.
was
Rockets
gonna
go down. This could be checkpoint right here.
This,
There it is.
Oh,
Checkpoint.
so
Stun pulls it
close.
through at the last moment there. Good work from Org
Wow.
here. So now spawns have been switched. The blue team is going to spawn directly where the cart is. Red team is now spawning in at the end of the map. So we're going to see a quick clear here from blue. Looks like they're opting to put one on cart here. That's MTL. One comes in from behind. That's
Oh,
Toast.
good.
Clears the cart, and he's
Whoa.
back behind. So there's a disruptor. And Org's
Yeah.
going to need to count for this.
And if Org is going to be pushing all their people forward, trying to counter Iron respawning, then, well, I guess we won't see it, but you definitely can see a lot of cart clears in that amount of time.
Definitely. That was a good little bit of burn of time there. It's 40 seconds have gone by now, and the cart's now finally coming around that post checkpoint bend. So
Yeah, something that usually only takes about 10 seconds.
precisely, just by getting that one player behind, Toast has earned a little bit more time for his team here. We've got Khan. If I'm not mistaken, this is Khan's debut in Dash League.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
So
they're
he's a
doing pretty
first-time
good.
player. Yeah. Has been
Ooh,
putting a ton of
good kill.
time there. Stun gets dropped. Stun, an old player from Team/Bias, RIP.
Yeah,
Hmm,
rip
right
they've
behind
been
us.
But Stun
that was a
has
good cart
stepped
clear
up.
there, though.
Yeah.
And now they just barely have. Oh, and it looks like the cart is down again.
It looks like some kind of formation coming together here from Iron. Trying to get ready to
Iron's
set up a
doing
second
really
checkpoint
good.
defense. Our rockets
Org
come up.
still has the spawn advantage here, and yet Iron seems to be holding down the cart. Just
Yep,
kind of
that
showing
cart
they
isn't
have really
moving.
good hold.
They're making really good use of these obstacles here, trying to not be seen by more than one Org player at once. Org making a good show of bouncing all over the map and making it hard to keep track of them while you're trying
Nice
to make
discipline.
a defense.
Nice discipline there from MTL. Got the clear, saw the cart could move, got on it, and
Looks like it.
got some movement.
Org's almost all the way up the hill at this point, and Iron still doesn't have a setup to stop them. I think Dr. Guy has the rockets now, but we'll see
Oh,
whether
he
he's
might
able to
get
keep
taken
them.
out.
Challenge.
And there it goes.
Khan drops that. You might want to get off that rail though.
Oh,
no.
no. Didn't have the dash.
Spectator curse, baby. We got to see one person accidentally kill themselves per game. It's just how it rolls.
It's a requirement.
Look at that fast rollout by Khan, though. I mean, almost as soon as he grabs that dash, he's immediately back in the fight.
So just quickly
boy.
checking over chat here. We've seen a lot of people commenting on Nugget and Dr. Guy. Yeah, Dr. Guy is a fun Rocketeer to watch, and yeah, like I said, Nugget's overcome a lot of walls that players thought would be difficult. I'm definitely inspirational to any other higher ping players that are thinking that they want to compete in Dash League.
Absolutely. Look at this guy move.
Yeah,
Checking corners. And you were talking about that reaction time earlier. I definitely
Absolutely.
see it here.
The thing that's been commented about Nugget is the speed that this guy plays the game at. We're all playing Hyperdash, but Nugget's playing Hyperdash. He's going at like a different pace.
Dash.
On his fastest days, there isn't much difference between how much time he spends in air and on the ground mid-fight. He's just dashing and killing, and it's an awesome thing.
That's beautiful to see. Oh, wow, we're seeing Iron kind of pushing up past the cart here, trying to set up the same hold that they had earlier. But it looks like Org is just kind of scooting by him, saying, well, you can set up whatever hold you want. I'm going to go push this cart.
Absolutely. Hi, Midnight.
Yes. We see 3 minutes and 30 seconds left at this point. I mean, Org is definitely doing better than average. Usually at this point, you'd only see, 1 or 2 minutes left this late in. 85% is kind of the average that you see for two equal teams getting against each other, and Org is already at 79% with 3 minutes remaining. So definitely Org is doing a great job right now.
It's not totally looking like it's going to be a 100% game. I'm not certain if Org is going to make it to 100% here. They're going to need some really strong pushes to overcome that last bit of spawn advantage, and they've only got 3 minutes to do it. But it's really anyone's game if Orc can get a really good coordinated push in and keep the momentum for a long distance. It's possible.
Also, it looks like Dr. Guy was able to sneak rockets past them. So they're really going to have to try and push past the cart into that bunker to clear
Absolutely.
Dr. Guy out before they can get.
Great
to the
work from
next
Guy
push.
there. You could tell some discipline, wasn't greedy, grabbed one rocket and ran.
Yeah.
Could take what he would get and can work with that.
Yeah, a lot of new teams would think, I gotta wait here for both rockets, and during that 10 seconds, you can just get pushed by, their entire team and get taken out, and then you have no rockets up. So it's really good of him to know to pull back, and maybe I wouldn't even be surprised if in the comms he said, you know what, after 1 or 2 pushes, if we get a good moment, I'll come back, grab a second rocket, and then I'll really be back up. Man, we're seeing a lot of fight for this triangle room here, though, which is the fastest rollout for red team out of their spawn. So you're used to seeing some fights, but man, I feel like we're fighting over here, not next to the cart.
The entire
Or
game is
definitely
happening in that
focusing
triangle.
that rocket. They're trying to take triangle and then they're trying to get to that rocket, it seems. Dr. Guy's been putting some good work on, some good pressure that looks like Org is still trying to address. But it's still a minute 40 on this on the clock there, so still looking to see if they'll make the 86. That seems to be the standard point from last season. A lot of teams would make it to the 86 just under the bridge there.
The little arch, yeah.
The little
yeah,
arch.
definitely. Yeah, and you know what? They're already at 84% with a minute 30 left. I mean, we've seen now Iron kill about 2 minutes, and they've only gone about 4%, which is very, very good on Iron's account. But they're already at 85%, 1% away from kind of the average. So we might see Org go a bit above average here. And now the question is, can Iron kind of bring that same energy when they're on blue team?
Absolutely. It's gonna have to go both ways. So Iron will be watching to see them break that checkpoint, and then likewise they're gonna try to push to that 86. It'll be good for Org if they're able to push farther, because any farther you get into that territory that the opponent has spawn advantage means that when the opponent's got to push, you'll have that spawn advantage as well, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yes, X was on Acme last season, Castle.
Wow,
Remember.
crazy headshot there from B.
Ooh.
Flicks and
B
lands
really has been posted up in triangle for a lot of
disruption.
this late part of the game. They've been doing a very good job at trying to take out 1, even 2 other Org members and making the push that much harder. Org really needs to get as many players
Org
in
making some
one
movement here
consecutive
now.
push as possible.
Come on, push
Yeah,
up that
we
dash.
got 20 seconds. They're
Help it.
barely trying to get this final push. This is all that they can scrounge together with the time left, and I hope that we see this cart get back up, maybe even some overtime. 10 seconds now.
Arctic pushing up, takes that health.
Yep, trying to prevent them from being able to even get to cart.
See a player fly by, that's probably not good. He goes down.
And there you go, 86%. Amazing hold by Iron right there, being able to hold to get them at the average 86%, even though Org was easily 2 minutes above average earlier. So that was a really good job by Iron right there.
Right. This will be I think this will be a big signifier of how Iron's push is going to go for a lot of this map. How long different Org members are able to stay in this start area here. Because if you remember, Org was able to clear out Iron relatively quickly and get a lot of this first zone here without too much trouble. And Iron was able to set up holds later on. But if Org's able to get some consistent cart clears, even a few times, that could be a sign of a stronger defense soon to come.
Yeah, at least a stronger immediate defense. Yeah, even if they clear the cart once, that will be better than what Iron had on the initial blue rollout. So, but it actually seems like they're not able to do anything, and we even see a double stack on cart. The more people you put on cart, the faster it goes, which I don't think we saw with Org, which very smart by Arctic here, knows to get off the stacking of cart when they see a fight is up ahead, gets off, and oh wow, now we see 3 Org in shield room here. Let's see if I can
pulls
take
up.
it back.
Now watching Armageddon, I believe he was the second newest pickup here for
Yes,
Iron.
he was. Yep. Armageddon is an insanely good player, but I think they're still decently new to the league. I don't remember if they were on a team before they were on Iron and got any playtime.
It's like Iron's starting to make their way down the hill, trying to take the fight into the shield room, but
One flanks that cart and it goes down.
Oh,
I believe that was X.
Come out.
But Armageddon immediately gets on that cart. So, even though he has pickups and is filling a special role, he knows that no role is more important than cart moving.
Absolutely. That's the point of the game, and you've got a time limit to do it, so you got to make most of every second.
Uh-oh.
Back there getting the kill on the shot.
66. Oh, barely gets taken out by Arctic there. Arctic still taking space. I love how Iron has kind of been trading who pushes forward. They only have 1 or 2 people push forward, and then if they die, they just immediately get replaced. I mean, this is really good team coordination by Iron. And now we see
Iron
them at
here,
the bottom
yeah.
of the hill with 430, which is at the same time.
Exactly the same time, yeah. So both teams made the same pace. But now we're, like I said, at that point where the spawn advantages flip. We see Toast here in the back, takes their dash.
Oh, steals their dash, but gets taken out.
Gets grabbed by Nugget.
But Iron is pushing the cart right now, so that distraction might have helped a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, something you can also think about is, you know, you don't have to kill someone to make them not be effective. If you can distract them and make them not look at the cart, you can say, hey, look at me. Don't look at this cart that's moving right now.
Absolutely, like we saw from Dr. Guy there.
Looks like Org has 2 different Rocketeers up at the same time. It'll be interesting to see how that strategy varies from Iron's relative dependence on one highly skilled Rocketeer, Dr. Guy. So far, it seems to be working out well for them. They have a pretty solid defense set up here.
Nugget controlling this area here. And the somewhat impressive fire rate as well to back up that accuracy.
Yeah, definitely. Fire rate is definitely something that you only see kind of higher level. Fire rate is not something that a brand new player right out the gate can really master. And it's very impressive that this brand new team is able to pull that together.
Absolutely. It does take time to really polish off your ability to shoot that trigger quickly. It's a muscle memory that builds the more you play. You can bring it from other things, other games that you've played, but for the most part, we've found that getting a good fire rate in Hyperdash is just a matter of time.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of comes naturally. We see Armageddon here sneaking into their backlines with a shotgun, waiting to pop out and probably kill those rockets. I bet he's talking to his team right now, saying, I'm behind, tell me when to go. And there you go. He takes out those rockets. It's a good flank. Trying to get the second kill here, but
can't quite go
Oh
around
no,
that
just
corner.
can't make it. MTL spots it, and the cart goes down again. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The cart's just underneath the bridge there. The 28% mark. Org looking to make checkpoint here. And do we remember what time Org made it?
Org made it
Checkpoint
with just under 1 minute. So
1 minute.
Iron has a minute and a half-ish to make that checkpoint here, which I don't know. Right now, it looks like that they might be falling a little bit behind Org. We'll see how this comes together. I'd love to see some more group ups from Iron. I'm seeing a lot of trickling, a lot of single pushes, and they just get taken out just like that. Dr. Guy.
Absolutely. MTL working car here. We saw one in the corner there that's stun, doing what he's been doing since last season, sitting in corners.
Doing what he does best. And there you go. It pays off. Well, ooh, Dr. Guy
Did get
got a
one
little
wipe
bit
there.
more. Oh, there you go. A triple stack.
Triple stack
Wow,
on
this
card now.
late. They know
Khan
that the
getting
rockets
2
are
long range kills there.
Ooh.
Basically pulled up a rocket, but with his guns.
And now they actually have rockets back up again, and so now Iron's going to be stressing a little bit, saying, dang, you know, they got those rockets up, our team push failed, and now we got to do it again.
Absolutely, but a minute and 30 seconds on the clock. They might be slightly behind pace, but that doesn't mean they won't make that checkpoint, and they can always make it up in the second half there.
Absolutely.
So Iron here still in the game.
Yeah, it's close. I feel like we're probably going to see an Iron group up here pop out, and yep, just right now, as we saw, and they didn't take out the rockets, though, which, oh, a good dodge of the rocket on the cart, though. Doesn't ultimately matter. It gets taken out by the rest of the team. You got to focus those rockets. A big part of payload.
Absolutely, so we're just hitting that 60-second mark. We've got a shield on cart. It goes down. X here watching up by the health.
Yep, I think we're officially seeing Iron behind Org at this point. I think Org made checkpoint at this time.
That's correct.
So
MTL standing on cart. 2 people
how this
pulling in
group
here.
push
Toast
goes.
on. Shock on
Good
cart.
push.
Rocket comes
Oh,
in.
good dodge. Double stacking cart.
Iron
They
here making
really
the
want to
movement
triple
they
stack.
need. They
Oh,
need
oh,
triple
They're
stock.
down.
And there it is, checkpoint.
There
Nice.
you go.
One
Only
really good
20
coordinated
seconds
push.
behind. That, you know what, 20 seconds is not going to make a breaker game. You know, it's definitely a significant difference, but Iron absolutely still can make it to that 86%. I mean, this is still anyone's game, especially with we see Iron pushing out of their spawn at this point, trying to hold Org back for as long as possible and just ride that cart.
Absolutely. So now Org is going to be, or Iron is making that that bend there at the ideal time. There were no Org members from behind. We actually see Org members going down, so likely a couple Iron players have pushed up and are in that area. And Iron is looking to make up the time that they lost, which I believe they might be doing.
Yeah, we see a lot of stacking on Iron's part. Wow, that's impressive that they're stacking this early on.
And also, while we're watching the perspective of the cart here, we can pay some attention to the minimap in the top right in order to get a
Exactly.
sense for how Iron is either able to hold off Org or Org is able to pierce their defenses. It looks like they haven't stopped at all in Zone 1, and are even stacking the cart at this point. The cart might be
Ooh.
about to be stopped. We'll see.
This is close.
Shot
They
comes
almost
in.
shut it down, and there you go. Cart is still moving. I think at this point, Iron has gone completely uncontested on that cart, while Iron stopped it when Org was pushing it. So we might see that 20 seconds already equal out here.
A lot of that time gap that they lost trying to get checkpoint, Iron is making it back up now in the second part. We see Armageddon pushed up, working the dash room, grabbing that dash.
Dash. Yep. You get more dashes if you grab that dash pickup. Same with health pickup.
Iron
and,
now in the checkpoint area. We don't see any red here, and that's a really bad sign.
Yeah, I wonder where Org is right now. I mean, we haven't seen them for a minute. We're seeing a few picks here and there, just like Armageddon. Getting the dash a second time, and getting a... Oh, just barely gets taken out by 626, though.
Let's see if Iron's able to pay attention to this flank that 626 is about to make. Nice.
And there you go.
That's a good call out.
Wow, I think Iron might be ahead of Org at this point with how amazingly they've been pushing this cart. I mean, amazing job by Iron at this point. Ooh, Armageddon with the shotgun in the back.
Oh,
Gets the
no
pickup
doubt.
stun.
dash too. For those who don't know, when you're in the middle of dashing, your hitbox very briefly becomes a lot larger than normal. I think that's part of how Armageddon was able to get that kill with the shotgun from such a long distance. Bullets spread very wide, but if you're mid-dash, there's a lot to hit.
Wow, Armageddon is just in their backlines, not letting them survive or set up. This shotgun is doing them really well. Just like what I love to do, the one shotgun, one pistol combo. He's got a shotgun right next to him, and he says, no, I don't want it. I like this pistol shotgun combo, and it's working out for him. They're only 3% behind where Org was, but they have 4 minutes to go, absolutely dominating where Org was at this point. I mean, amazing job by Iron. We finally see Org setting up for the first time since post-checkpoint, pretty much.
And
It
Org
looks
is
like
going to
they
need
called
a really strong hold here if they're going to want to burn the next 3.5 minutes, because that cart only needs to push 3%, and that's it.
Yeah,
now.
2%. Yeah, I mean, amazing job by Iron. I know Org definitely thought that they were going to win this, and I think Iron also definitely thought they were going to win this. So I think both teams are seeing this as really high stakes.
Like a big
Nice.
fight in triangle. Armageddon able to finish that off. The cart is not
1%
moving.
away.
There's still 2 on it right now. Nugget behind the cart about to get a good flank.
And
It's
there you
1,
go.
2.
Amazing
Nice.
flank. Still not at 86%. We've got 3 minutes to go for less than 1%. We're going to need to see nothing short of a miracle hold by Org here to keep them back.
Nugget gets spotted. It's taken out there quickly at the start of the push. You see blue starting to build up. Rockets come up. Got one on the cart there. Down in a corner.
His favorite flank
Classic
spot.
stun.
That's 2
Hopping
picks.
on the cart.
Drops the
Armageddon
shotgun.
with a good flank.
They're both at 86%. I think they just need to push it a little bit more.
They are 2
Yeah, so it looks like
feet
Org is
away.
86.9 and stun or Iron, sorry, at 86.1.
Oh, Arctic tries to get a flank.
Good response from
takes
X
a lot
there.
of attention away.
Org gets wiped.
Uh-oh, this might be it.
There you
And
go.
that's
you
it.
go.
So now
Yeah.
they're pushing for the
Yeah, so important to remember the match isn't over for either team. This is to determine not just who wins, but what rank they get. How far Iron is able to push this cart is going to greatly affect the overall MMR of both teams by the end of this.
Absolutely. So now Org is fighting just to lose as little MMR as they can, as it's a zero-sum game. So every little bit of MMR that Iron wins gets for this win, Org is losing that much. So now Org's incentive is just to, save their bets and lose as little as possibly can.
we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left here.
That's a lot of time.
Looks like at this point a lot of Org is positioned around the cart, which is good to try and prevent some movement, but it's bad in terms of trying to prevent Iron from grouping up like they've been able to do consistently. Not a whole lot of disruptors in the past few pushes.
Oh, gets taken out by I think that was an explosive, was that? Man.
Would have to be
We're
pistols because we haven't seen any Org players pushing up.
Man, wow. Well, I mean, amazing hold by Org here so far. We've basically, as soon as they won, we've barely seen any movement from the cart by Iron. So
Yeah,
Org
that
is
spawn
definitely
advantage
getting
has
together.
definitely been helping Org.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I lock
Captain
that cart
Toast got a
further down.
clue there. Cart's not moving.
Doesn't see the person behind him and gets taken out.
Oh, there's one on it. They've turned
Cart
that
makes
corner.
bend.
That is huge for them. Now they have the defensive bonus of that that shield on the cart. Looks like Armageddon's on it.
Oh,
Just
they're
gets
turning
taken
this
out.
corner now. 90% on Launchpad is very interesting because now the cart is no longer exposed to their spawn. They have that shield there to protect them. So anyone who's respawning can't help until they push forward a little bit. It's kind of like a positive feedback loop.
About 20 seconds left, counting down to 15 seconds left. We'll see. This might be the last push that Iron's able to do. I wonder if they're waiting for the overtime.
Yeah, if you can make it while the timer is at 0, but you're still in the cart, you do get a little overtime, and you can push it for theoretically as long as you want. So if Iron can stay on, they get the
That's a wipe.
overtime, pushing end up with a wipe, making it 97, 98%. Finally gets taken out. Can we see another person make overtime? No. Wow.
That was a fantastic final push by Iron.
Amazing. 98% to 86%. That is huge. Over on Org, we see Nugget top scoring, like we were saying,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
7471 and then B 7464 there on the Iron side with 9,000 points. So top scoring all over the whole map and then tying for top kills with Nugget.
It also well, actually, that's not top kills. We've got
Oh, you're
Armageddon
right,
and
yeah.
Captain Toast both in the 80s.
Wow.
They
Good
just
job.
must not have been riding the cart quite as much as B was during that game.
Yeah, almost breaking 100. Amazing job by them.
But that was a great job by both teams, if we're being honest. Both of them solidly made it through the checkpoint. Both of them had a lot of like push and pull, give and take with the power dynamic during the match.
Absolutely.
That was very exciting.
Absolutely.
No one looked like they were obviously going to win until the very end there. So both teams did amazing.
Absolutely. For a moment there, we weren't totally certain if Iron was going to make checkpoint, but then after that, they went and they made back a bunch of the time that they lost, pushed all the way to the bridge and through the chokehold uncontested, and suddenly they had a huge advantage there with the 4 minutes and only having to make 2 to 3 more %, and they pushed it all the way down to the 98 with some good group ups. All right, so now the name of the game is going to be Waterway. That's our next map. And don't believe we'll be seeing any substitutions, but we'll keep an eye there.
Yeah, right here we can see the nice little animated Org logo. Very beautiful. Another courtesy of Firehorse. Everything amazing that you see in this cast, just assume it's done by Firehorse. They're an absolute champion. We've got a couple highlight times here if we're ready for that, Fire.
Sure. So if we, yeah, of course.
Yeah, no worries. So this new feature, another amazing thing made by Firehorse, we can actually see replay labs, which is amazing. You want to give them the first time? Still ironing out a little bit. First time we've done it, but I think it's gonna be really exciting. Things will be in slow motion, just barely, so we can really see exactly what happened and what these plays did to deserve it.
If we, whenever you're ready, Firehorse, if we want to make it back to quarter 3 at 1:54 left, I think that would be a good place to start. That's at least one of the ones that I wrote down here.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm very curious to see how Iron and Org are going to match up in this domination up next. A very, very different dynamic from pushing the payload.
Absolutely. On payload, we see a lot of grouping, coordinate pushes, and different players filling different roles. And we're going to see a lot of the same stuff on Waterway, but we're also going to see it's a map where one single player can have an even bigger effect on the outcome of the game.
Yeah. Especially if that one player is able to quickly move from one point to the next and get a hole clear by themselves. Looking at this replay here, that's quarter 3, 1:54.
Armageddon out-cornered stun. Amazing. Oh, here we're going to see the replay coming back up. Oh, man.
So this replay, I remember it was on Iron pushing. Most of the replays that I have written down, just because I forgot to do it earlier when Org was on blue, are when Iron's pushing. Minute 54-ish?
Yeah, just right there.
Yeah, just about there. Go ahead and play it.
Oh, well, there we go.
I believe this might have been play by Mortal or Stun in that corner there. Go ahead and see. Mortal making a stand on the cart.
B getting a good long range kill. Stun
There
in
you
the
go.
stun corner.
Taking himself out, but then the rest of Org's teammates able to follow up effectively.
And get that cart moving.
And
Wow.
yeah, that was...
Oh.
Yeah, that was the point there that Iron tears Org's defense down there and gets that last push that they needed.
Yeah.
To get close to the point.
Another one in the same quarter at 48 seconds left. I believe this was the last push that Iron ended up doing to get through the checkpoint. Yeah, which was very solid. They were just about able to get a clear. Swallowed a little bit of my own spit there.
Yep.
Yeah, like 50, 48, something
right
like
there,
that.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we see Experiment 626 posted. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
posted by
go.
trying to get eyes into shield room. A lot of org set up around the cart. No, that's all right. We're still figuring things out. Eventually, this is going to be ironed to a T.
But yep, we've got 626 taking a classic position that you can see the cart and the people that the positions that they're going to be coming from.
Especially if one tries to dash past into that flank alley there. Experiment 626 had a very good sightline on it.
Oh, amazing!
The shot comes in. They dodge that rocket there and hop back on the cart.
And then did someone take out the rocket? It looks like someone went to that top left shark platform, which is where the rockets went to try and hit the cart, and got taken out just in the right moment. That was a good checkpoint push by Iron.
Absolutely. Great. Yeah. I think that last little area that we saw that, where we didn't know if Iron was going to make that checkpoint, they really pulled it together. I had my doubts for a while. I'm not going to lie, but they absolutely killed it. Dash League indeed. Yep. But next up, we've got the Waterway. It looks like we're seeing some roster switches from Org where they're bringing in Lucky Charms. I think they
Lucky was there before earlier, no?
No, Lucky Charms replaced Stun, I believe.
And
MTL.
MTL, that's who it is.
So MTL and I feel like, did Khan switch with somebody, or was Khan there and I'm just forgetful?
There, yeah.
Okay,
there, yeah.
Then that's just my mental sharpness kind of going down the drain for a bit. But...
I'm surprised that we see Dr. Guy still in for the Waterway. A lot of teams, they kind of min-max a little bit, and you usually see someone's really good at rockets and payload and all that, and then when it comes to domination, a little bit less, and so I hope that we see Dr. Guy is kind of able to diversify their skill level and not only be a killer rocketeer like we saw in that game today, but, maybe pick up some slack on Waterway too.
If I know anything about the trend with a lot of Rocketeers, is they tend to be fast dashers because they have to shoot once and then avoid people for a full second and a half. Oh,
looks like
Lucky Charms giving us a wave. The match is about to
Here
start.
We go.
Lucky Charms is an amazing player, a new pickup by Org, I believe, decently new. So
originally from Bandit, if I recall correctly, as well as one of the team's captains, Moist.
Grabbing their own button and B at the same time. One member of Org able to sneak past and trying to get Iron's button, maybe make a distraction.
Looks like
we see no deaths on the Iron side, on the Org side, so that player is still dominating.
Red team's getting a
3 buttons pressed.
No
and that's
counter.
It. First point there in 30 seconds.
Good job, Stun.
That's impressive. You must see a really good rollout by Org team. I mean, good job on them.
Yeah, the opener won it for them there, and I mean, obviously they're pretty upset. They just lost that launch pad, so they're going to be coming back with a little bit of aggression here.
Maybe we will see that control point.
Like Cap and Toast set up in the bottom of B along with one of their teammates, Army, going to try and push at the same time towards Org's base, who's getting a countdown. Oh, that was huge for Dr. Guy in order to get that counter. I don't think Cap and Toast would have been able to get it at that time.
Certainly not, and this is the button that they need to hold, so able to make it to their base. The counter split now. And Stun is the last player. Oh! Look at that button at the last moment. While getting a headshot. Or needing one more counter. Org managed
Yeah,
to
they
get to
got
B
B.
now.
All right. At this point, I
Yeah.
think the button's lost. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
That
army
was
pulls up.
huge.
Amazing
That-
counter there from Stun at the very last moment, just before getting domed to get that button press in.
I love the term getting domed.
Alright, X here with the shock, peeps out, drops into the basement and grabs that basement dash, which is going to be nice. That's one dash less now for Iron to work with. Has to counter, which may not have been a part of the plans.
Oh,
But not able to move there, it seems. Maybe some input error.
we're seeing a lot of Org in Iron space, but we're seeing a lot less Iron in Org space.
Absolutely, definitely. The momentum seems to be in Org's favor at this moment. They had a really strong opener and they're pushing aggressively. So we'll be looking to see our Iron here stay coordinated, stay calm, and execute whatever their game plan may be. Thought guy spots one in the basement,
Feeling
decides to
the
dismiss
quiet
it.
moment.
Nice,
That player
nice.
goes down.
We're seeing a lot of Iron in their own base. Generally, when it comes to waterway aggression, is definitely favored. You don't want to end up turtling and keeping your whole team in your own base, and that's kind of what we're seeing on Iron right now. I'd like to see them push out, take some more space, really make Org fight for it.
And on the other hand, Org is doing a very good job of what we were just talking about. They are constantly pushing out of their own base, trying to not give Iron any space to breathe here.
Absolutely, we have
Looks like
Dr.
Iron's
Guy
really-
pistol sniping.
Yeah, fighting a lot on B too. Let's see, not sure who that is. That might have just gotten cleared out of Iron's base. Looks like Iron has had control of their own button in B for a while, but hasn't quite been able to push past into Org's base. Org making their way into Iron's basement. We'll see how Dr. Guy responds. It seems like he likes to stay at the top here. So if Org's able to get into Iron's basement, they may or may not have an opening in order to make it to the top.
Oh, you see a counter done by Org. Iron was almost counting down there.
X
And
there,
now
able to
we
get
got-
one pick, needs one more pick and able to get it. Those buttons are flip-flopping. We'll get 3 reds and they'll flip
Man.
straight to 3 blue.
That's how you know two teams are decently even, is when you just constantly see it go from one counter to another.
Right, and it also means that you've got a nice distribution of players across the map.
Airman 626 doing a very good job of keeping Iron's base clear. Lucky Charms able to follow up on the defense, or offense,
A
I
little bit of
suppose,
pistol
'cause they're
sniping
in
here
Blue's
from
base.
Lucky. Gets a nice long-range pick.
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna get challenged here out by their button.
Uh-oh.
Taking
Trying
on
to
2
get the
players
dash
will go
in.
down to the shotguns.
Oh, B with the shotguns. I love seeing shotguns in waterways. Probably the least picked up gun on waterways, second only to rockets. So I like I like seeing
Yeah, the
people grab it.
rockets. Hard to beat that for least picked up weapon right now on Waterway.
Yeah, right.
One cycles backwards to
Counter
B, is
on
able to get
B.
that counter. That player goes
Looks like
down.
it's just Dr. Guy and B left up,
Oh,
able to
they
get their own
nice
base
counter.
just about.
One more counter
Seeing
here.
a
We still
lot
see
more-
4 blue are up.
Yeah. Oh,
And red are starting
again.
to funnel into their base now.
Come on.
Only one-
Iron really is struggling to get their own button at this point.
Make that counter at B there, super important. Several iron go down.
They're just
Yeah.
Org not holding the
desperately trying
buttons.
to grab any button they can while Org is trying to set up.
Nice. Stun trying to shock the button while others held it. It usually would work. I love that strategy, but it didn't seem to work for Org right there. Iron
challenge
finally
is-
rolling out to B.
It didn't seem like they were really holding the
On
button
an
there. It's more so that they were really
absolute
close
tear
to
right
it.
now on Iron's button.
Finally goes down, the shocks go down, and
I think
can
Iron's
almost
base
hear-
is finally clear.
yeah, you can
But-
hear the sigh of relief.
Look
One
at that,
player
you saw a
already
great
working their way
example
back
there
up.
of Org skipping. Sorry to interrupt. Org
Go ahead.
skipping their person. They had someone in the base shooting at them, and instead of taking the engagement, they said, "I don't care about this engagement. I'm gonna go hit this button." And that's what you want to see.
Done here, the shocks are back, ready to do some damage. Not totally making their presence known just as yet. Probably waiting for some teammates to pull up. Starts that counter. Starts planting shocks. Gets picked up
Gets
from B by B.
Long.
From B by B. I like that.
Barely dodging the water there.
Yeah, be amazing. Would have been great to get the kill and kill yourself immediately.
B here pushing into enemy base, looking for the counter. Gets the base.
You see 2 iron in the enemy base. That's good. They
Khan
both
takes
get
them
taken
both.
out almost immediately.
Good clear by Khan.
Con here, not pistol sniping. Adjust the headset. We need some better straps there, Con.
Yeah.
Of course. This so far is being really exciting. I mean, we saw that first score in 30 seconds, and now they've been playing for almost 7 minutes straight with no counter or no countdown. no score, that is, with many counters and many countdowns.
Absolutely, that initial point there was super important for Org. Give them some good momentum they needed after that launch pad. So now both teams revved and going. Iron's got one map under their belt now, so they're probably feeling some power. Org here got that first point strong, so they've got some power. Both teams are playing at full gas.
Definitely. It should also be noted that for the scoring purposes, MMR, it's how we keep track of the scoring machine. The longer this game takes, whoever wins gets less points for it. So, there's high incentive to win quickly and win efficiently, just like Org did for that first. We finally
So
see
the
an
Iron's
Iron
starting to
score.
counter here.
Yep. And
That's it. They managed to score 1 point,
Almost
evening it
took
out.
it out. I saw that. Stun is furious. Or is that Con? I think
That's
four letters
done, I
there.
believe.
That's stun. Con was taken out earlier. All right, got it.
Arctic here grabs his own base. We can see this is another League payload waterway. So the main objective is to push the payload 100% across the buttons and then into the sky.
A lot of back and forth on that B button there. We'll see if Arctic's able to push forward to the base. No, looks like Nugget on a tear right now.
Picking some good movement. Nugget goes down. Toast barely grabbing that bottom rail.
Good dodge on the water.
gets taken out anyway.
That's how it goes. This waterway, when the teams are very even like this, it takes a lot of mental endurance to be okay with dying over and over and trying again just as hard every single time you have to push forward.
Oh, good kill by Lucky Charms there.
Looks like a lot of Org riding that bottom rail, trying to get Iron stuck in their base.
Charms there needed
B
that
able
kill to
make
get
it
another
past
dash.
B.
Oh yeah. Yep, getting a dash on every kill. High killing means high momentum. Oh, something I think I definitely am noticing too is stun is high killing on Org with 23 kills, and they're the shock user too. I think those shocks are really working out for
Absolutely.
Org
Well,
here.
we did see those like 3 to 4 consecutive Org counters there where stun was dropping shocks at the button there, likely racked up a bunch of kills as well.
That solo hold that almost got Org their second point of the match. Yeah.
Nugget here dashes up from bottom of B to top B.
That was sick.
As I mentioned, dashing is one thing that Nugget's known for. Nugget knows how to move.
Very creative, yeah. And they're making their way to different parts of the bottom of Iron's base, trying to keep in mind where they can be seen from. This is insane dashing by Nugget.
Toast able to reclaim the button there, grabs the top dash and pushes straight on out to B. Only stun up once more. Will he be able to get that counter like he did earlier?
They're all shooting. There
He
you go.
doesn't.
Second. Oh man.
This is huge for Iron. If this momentum keeps up, Iron's going to be scoring by the end of the match. But if Org's able to really pull something together, maybe even like that first point they got earlier, just completely rush the heck out of Iron. It looks like Iron has an Iron defense right now. None of Org was able to make it past into their base. All of Iron is alive right now.
Good job by Iron there. Finally, one gets taken out. And
That's
stuck
stuck
in the
in the wall there.
Oh man, B is just holding the base down though. Oh, are they going to be able to hold the button? Gets the kill, can't hold the button though. I'd like to see more Iron roaming over to their base, gets taken out. That's going to be a counter. Now we're probably going to see Org changing back to being able to get some advantage here now that Iron has been cleared out of their base.
See just one here, Armageddon holding at B. Looking just likely waiting for some dashes. Fortunately, Bryn's one there, so still stuck at B.
Waiting for dashes, also waiting for victims to pop up on that B button. Try me. Good awareness by Army. They just weren't able to take out both of those Orc members who snuck past. Looks like Iron's trying to be aggressive and keep control of Org's base, but one of Org is able to sneak past. I think Org has most control of their base at this point.
Oh, Org finally rolling out to Iron's base for the first time that we've seen in a while. Nugget getting a couple really strong kills and then gets taken out. Wow, this match has already been going over for 10 minutes, full time being 25 minutes. So, we're approaching that halftime of the entire map, and still no team has won, which I think is just a testament to that. These teams are still very close, even if Iron has been able to get 2 scores.
Absolutely. We see large buildups of players at B there from blue. 3 members now.
It's a very common strategy to kind of use B as a group up spot, somewhere to you know, count all your players, say who's here. All right, let's grab some dashes. Let's breathe for a second, and then we can roll back out.
Wonder whether that org member is still in Iron's base. Looks like they are. We got a countdown just now.
Nugget here waiting for that bottom dash to crop up. Grabs it and makes his way up to their
Doing
button.
very good with the shotguns.
Ooh, misses the dash though. And gets taken out for it ultimately. Couldn't join his team and keeping 3 people on the button.
Take a peek at stun in the bottom left. Cam with golden shotguns. Double golden shotguns.
Oh,
2 kills.
there we go. Double stun, double B.
What we see here actually is the majority of well, I was gonna say the majority of Iron going negative, but actually all around both teams have a significant number of negative players. But it's a lot of teamwork from both sides here in order to score these points. There really isn't any singular player that's dominating with the 2 or 3 KD of a sort.
That's another reason that I love Hyperdash. You really don't need to be a killing machine to be good at it. Like, good team coordination will dominate every time. And there we go.
Man.
That's 3. That's going to be game. Iron taking both maps. We're not going to be seeing a control point. Amazing job by both teams, and congratulations to Iron for winning this. I think it was 92% to 86%, and now 3-1.
Excellent work from both teams. A really good showing.
Look at that. Armageddon with 36 kills, Stun with 34. Both of them going crazy for each of their teams, but neither even close to the top scoring. The ones really able to sneak into the opponent's bases seem to be Captain Toss, B, and Nugget. Nugget with 10,000 score.
2,000 points above the second place there.
That's just to show how amazing of a player Nugget is, but you know, team coordination ultimately was what matters here, and it seems that Iron was able to pull it through just barely a little bit more, and that's won them the game. So amazing job to Iron and Org, but thank you everyone for joining the stream. Yet again, I'm going to ask before everyone leaves to drop a like. It really helps encourage people to see the video and get it on the recommended, and it's super helpful. So we appreciate all of you being here.
Absolutely, excellent work.
Great job by everyone. Upcoming, we're going to see Hacks. Oh no, Hacks vs. Acid actually already happened. So Emu versus Zara, yep, is going to be today. And that's going to be the last match of the day. And then tomorrow we're going to see the same team, Iron versus Fake, and then Supernova versus Limbo, and Life versus Arc, which I think I'm casting the Life versus. I think we're doing the Life versus Arc, right? So right. Yeah, you can catch us at the Life versus Arc tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not listed there, but you also catch the versus TMNM match. That's also tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one's going to be exciting. I bet Dre is casting that one. That will be really exciting. Good for them. Yeah, amazing job to all teams. Thanks for joining in, everyone. And
once again,
yeah.
I'm not Gollum.
I'm Willow.
I'm Quisix. And we've got Firehorse behind the scenes.
Special thanks to Firehorse.
Always special thanks to Firehorse. Always give shout outs to Firehorse, even if he's not the one casting. He contributes a lot to making these casts run smoothly. So thank you everyone. Oh, it looks like they're
perfect.
Amazing.
Excellent work.